Hi guys, this is Manu from Claymetrics. So today I'm going to talk about merging multiple CSV files. So while working, you might have experienced or come across scenarios where you have multiple CSV files and you have to merge them. And merging them, if there are one or two files, it's easy. But when it comes to a lot of more files, then it becomes a complicated thing. So let's quickly understand how we can do it through these two options, which are one through a command prompt and other through a Power Query. There are other ways to go about it, but these are the most simple and the easiest ones, so we will explore these two only. So let's hit it. So let's first figure out how to do it through a command prompt. So for this exercise, I have created two datasets, dataset 1 and dataset 2. Now dataset 1 looks like this and dataset 2 looks like this. So if you see, the headers in dataset 2 and in dataset 1 are same, right? Okay, so now let me just quickly close these and let's explore how to combine these files through a command prompt. So to do that, first get into that folder where these two files are. These two are, as you can see, CSV files. Click here and type CMD, right? So this takes you to the directory of this folder through a command prompt. For people who don't know what a command prompt is, this is a Windows command prompt screen. It's a black screen and that's all you need to know for this exercise. Now we are in the directory of this folder or the root of this folder. What we do is we type copy space star dot CSV and then we type the name of the file. So let's say if we type combine, this is the file in which both the files would, dataset 1 and dataset 2 would be combined. So this is combine.csv. So I'll repeat. The command is copy space star dot CSV, which means copy and all the CSV files in this folder and then save the combined file as combine.csv. Okay, now if I press enter, you see what happens. I get dataset 1, dataset 2 and these files have been copied. So let's see. Here is the combined file, right? So if I open this, I have my data here, right? And as you can see, based on the previous the file that I showed you, this is the data that has come up as a combined form. The headers has also been added as a separate row, and we'll see how we can handle it in next few minutes. Okay, so this was for combining files which have similar columns. Now what about the cases when the file has different columns? So in this case I have created a data set which has different columns. So just to give you a quick overview, let's open these files one by one. So this is the first file and this is the other file. So as you can see, in this one the headers are name, age, gender, marital status, occupation, location, whereas in this the headers are slightly different, like there's hobby over here which is missing here. Okay, so let's see what happens if we do the same thing using this data. So again type CMD, we come to the root of this folder. Now type copy space star dot CSV combine dot CSV. Now this combine file is created here. If we open it, we see the data has been combined. There are 3 records. This is the header, but the occupation column of dataset 2 has come under marital status. So here's an issue. So which means this will serve our purpose only when the columns are exactly the same. So no problems. Let's So far we discussed how to combine the files using a command prompt, the CSV files combining through a command prompt. Now let's do the same exercise using Power Query. So to do that, we will use the same data set which we used last time, these two, and to run it through a Power Query, we first need to have a blank Excel or CSV files through which we'll run that Power Query. So this is my file. I've named it all. Now what I have to do is, what we have to do is go to Data, New Query, From File, and From Folder, and then it will prompt us to go to the folder where the files are kept. So my files are located here. So I just copy the path from here, or you can just browse it whatever way you feel comfortable with, and click OK. So now it will run the query, and as you can see, it gives a description like what are the files available. These are the two CSV files and the folder path and stuff like that. Now if I click on combine and edit, so what happens is it will run the query and it will combine the files, the two CSV files, the dataset 1 and dataset 2, and then it gives you an overview of how the data will look. So if I click OK, and remember this is just not the entire dataset, it's just the top few rows. So if I click OK, so it will run the query. As you can see, it's evaluating the query. And now we have a data set. So this is how the data is looking, and as you can see, it has added a column which gives us the file name as well. So these three rows are coming from dataset 1 and these are coming from dataset 2. And now if I click close and load, so it actually then plots the data here. Now as you can see, the two data sets that we had, dataset 1 and the dataset 2, and I had intentionally taken this dataset which had different column names or different column headers. So as you can see, dataset 1 and dataset 2, so here the headers are these and here the headers are these. So hobby is missing in dataset 2, and if I look at the combined one, so in dataset 2 the hobby was missing. So you see it has exactly matched column by column, and wherever there's a mismatch it has just left it blank. So guys, that's how Power Query works, and both the command prompt way or the Power Query way to merge CSV files have their own pros and cons. Thought this video was helpful. If you like this video, please click or like our link and subscribe to our page. Thanks. Have a great day.